Hello and welcome to my latest video diary. I've had the great pleasure of spending a little bit of time this afternoon with some of our amazing chaplaincy team here. So I'm with Christian and with Jill and with Felix. And a fabulous opportunity to talk about what this team can do for our patients and do for our patients and our visitors, and really importantly for our colleagues. So welcome everybody and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lance.
So Christian, let's just start. If you just wouldn't mind talking to us or talking to me about the breadth of the chaplaincy service and the support that you provide.
As you know, chaplaincy department here, we provide a whole range of services, and well, let me talk about the team first. So I'm the head of chaplaincy, and my colleague Jill is the assistant lead, and we have Felix and we have Eugene, and we've got many volunteers and on-call chaplains as well. So together, all of us are providing the service that we provide to our staff members and our families and patients and everyone that came into this hospital for their care. So
and you provide a massive range and breadth of services, don't you, from the religious through the spiritual to the support to the sort of almost counselling type of service for colleagues as well as for patients. Can you just talk me through the different aspects of that?
So we provide services to staff members to start with. Okay, so we support our staff members through their emotional stuff, bereavement, loss. And we are on the corridor here now that everyone can just knock on the door. And the beauty of where we are at the moment is that staff members can knock on the door and impromptu they come in, and in 2 minutes they will download their day to us, and we support them that way, and they can go back to the ward and continue what they're doing. With patients on the ward, we go and we visit them because a lot of them are worried about things, receiving challenging news, bad news, not knowing what next to do, what's coming their way. So we get on with them and we sit down, we listen, we encourage, we support them. Family members, the same thing. We do same with all of them. And I've got a few stats here. This year, for instance, we visited 3,717 patients just for this year, of which new referrals we've got 1,643, and we have referrals from SPTC, which is the operative care team, because we work together with them, and we've got the referral from everywhere. And I'm going to hand over to my colleague Jill to talk more about the service that we offer, especially to our patients, because I think she's got a lot to say on that one.
So Jill, talk us through a sort of I don't suppose you have a standard day, but a relatively standard day that you would have in supporting colleagues or patients in the hospital.
Yes, yeah, that's the one of the great joys of the job, is that you just don't know what a day is going to hold. I mean, it could be a complete mixture of things. It could be, some of it might be spent attending a trust meeting on the computer, where we try and feed in some of the information we glean from our visits with patients and staff to help the trust in its wider aims. It might be bumping into somebody in a corridor and getting involved in a long pastoral conversation. It could be having a referral from a ward. Maybe somebody is very anxious or upset and wants somebody to talk to. Maybe a patient is dying and the family, for them to have peace, it's really important maybe that somebody comes along and says a prayer. It could very sadly sometimes be visiting Chamberlain ward, where there's been a baby loss, and supporting a family there. Occasionally we get asked to conduct an emergency wedding as well, so you just don't know what a day is going to call. Or bereavement calls. We do a lot of bereavement work, both with staff and also with our patients and their families. Having said that, I think for me, I was just thinking as Christian was talking, one of the great privileges of this job is to be entrusted with people's stories. whether that's a member of staff, whether it's a patient, or whether it's a relative of one of our patients. It is a huge privilege. People will open up and they will tell us about things maybe sometimes people say, I've never told anybody else this before. And after they have done so, they might often say, thank you, I feel so much better. It's a huge privilege to be entrusted with some of these deepest experiences of patients' lives, of people's lives. And it's a huge privilege to know that even though we're not people who come with answers, we don't have answers, but we are comfortable with the questions, and we are comfortable with hearing what it is people feel the need to say. And it's one of the most rewarding parts of the job afterwards is when people will say at the end, sometimes they will say, thank you, I feel so much better.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's really lovely to hear. And all three of you are the most amazing listeners. And for anybody who hasn't spoken to a chaplaincy service, if you need to talk to them about anything, it doesn't have to be about a work-related matter. If your colleague, it can be about anything. You've got three of the most amazing listeners here who will help and guide and support you through any issues or concerns that you have if you want to be able to speak to somebody. And you don't need a particular faith, or you don't need to have any faith either, which is sometimes a misconception, although the faith element is really important, isn't it, Felix?
Very important.
And particularly for patients who do have a very strong
we deal with so many faiths and none in our services. But most importantly, our team is diversified. We have a diverse faith groups who make up the team. So as we walk in around the walls, we encounter people who belong to different faith traditions, who also want their faith needs or religious needs to be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. So we're always there. Like myself, I am a Roman Catholic, and the beauty of my joining this team is to meet the pressure on the local Roman Catholic parish around here, who feel exhausted, being called in and out most times to come and fill in. So it is important that we attend to those faith needs, especially as Jill mentioned, during baby losses, during end of life services, which is very important to even the dying and also their family members. So we're always there to do end of life rites, and then sometimes we also ask to join them with the funerals, help the families with the funerals. So sometimes we do such services also. And also we give them a kind of a guide during the bereavement time of moments, because you practically discover that so many families are disorganized. They don't really know where to start. But then we give them that religious support.
And you do so much that just goes under the radar, quite understandably, at just talking to people and smoothing things over, but you also put on some amazing services and support for other colleagues as well. So we're recording this just before Christmas, but one of the really key, and we have the fun and the excitement around the Christmas carols, etc., but one of the really important aspects that you do support is around the Blue Christmas that you provide. Jill, do you want to just talk me through what Blue Christmas is and how it supports our colleagues?
Well, Blue Christmas this year is going to be next Monday. I think that's the 18th.
It's
the 18th,
yes,
the 18th.
Yes.
We will be up in the foyer, and we'll also be at KO Park between, I think, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And it's recognising that Christmas can be a wonderful time for many, but not for all. And especially if people do have a very deep grief. Maybe they have lost loved ones during the year. Maybe they lost loved ones years ago, and it's still very difficult at Christmas time. The absence of somebody they have loved and lost is very much affecting their emotions. Or it may be that people are separated by distance, You know, we have a lot of people here whose families are living miles away, and for Christmas it's quite difficult for them because of the separation in that respect as well. So we have a blue Christmas tree, and people are invited to write the name of the person that they are missing, maybe a little prayer or a little message if that's what they want to write, and then they hang it on the blue Christmas tree. And in turn we give to them a little Christmas tree bauble, which they can then hang on their tree at home, and it's a connection with the name they've hung on our tree. And we bring that tree back down in here to the sanctuary at the end of the day, and we finish with some readings, some prayers, lighting some candles at the end of the day. So any of our staff who are watching this and who take part in Blue Christmas are welcome to come to that little service at 5 o'clock here next Monday too.
Fabulous, thank you. And that's absolutely beautiful. And of course you're there to have some other conversations with colleagues if they want to use that as an opportunity to come to talk to you as well. So very finally, if colleagues want to get in touch with you either for the benefit of their patients or for relatives of their patients or for themselves, how's the best way to do it? Multiple different ways to...
So many ways to get in touch with us. We are on Alative, and our numbers are there: 3407, the first extension, and then 3183, the second one, and or email paht.chaplaincy@nhs.net. And we have other avenues that staff can get in touch with us. We have meetings that, like I said earlier on, our doors are always open. People can knock on the door. Every first Monday of the month, we have Grieving Friends. This is a meeting of anyone who has lost someone that want to come and have an open conversation about it and how they're processing things. We do that again. People can just knock on the door. That's
if in doubt, just down to the ground floor.
Anytime, down to the ground floor. As you're walking towards the maternity, you see the fantastic space that we have here, and just knock on the door, and you'll be more than welcome to do that. Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you. Can I just say a massive thank you to all three of you, not just for today, but for everything that you and the Border team do. It's always genuinely an absolute delight to speak to all of you, and a huge thanks for the support that you provide our patients, our relatives, but really importantly all of our colleagues as well. So absolutely fantastic service, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you.